Hey guys, Wandering Shell here, and once again we're going to be finally finishing Marvel United X-Force series with Cable. Ugh. He was actually, of course, I say this every single time, the hardest one. I apparently like to save the hardest one for last, because Cable has a lot of little pieces to him compared to the other guys. He has a lot of, like, leather straps and pockets, and this is green and that's silver, but that's brown, but that's blue. Ugh. He has way too much work. So might as well get started. Speaking of getting started, I did start doing all the silver first, since Cable is mostly silver, metal colors. And I chose a lighter color silver, so I use army painters. So a lot of the colors I will mention are army painter colors. So for example, Goddess Silver is one of the colors from Army Painter. I'm not too sure about Citadel colors, unfortunately, but I do know my army painters, and this one is Goddess Silver. So I literally just painted his blaster metal. Nothing special, no dark colors to it, literally one solid color. All his silver is all the same color. It's just what I did with it later, you'll see. But literally going through every little area, trying to figure out what's silver, what's not. He was a tough one with that, because he is majority silver, but at the same time there's like his little shoulder pads, there's silver, there's green, there's black. It's just like, ugh, it was a headache. But he got done in real time. It took me an hour and 15 minutes. In this world it took me 16. I wish that was real for how fast it took me. But he had a lot of little pieces here and there, and so I had to go through every single little bit, looking at it. I even have a picture as a reference because of how intricate design he is versus a lot of the other guys. So I had to use a reference picture from the game itself, Marvel United. So I went through, I guess it's like, I don't know, bullets or something. Then I used leather brown for his pockets and stuff. You can do like a fur brown if you want, or even like a darker brown too, like a oak brown, to make it a little different. But I chose leather brown because it's, well, leather. So it made that easy to think about, but then he has so many pockets. And trying to find all the little spots was just a headache. And I mean every little spot. He just, here, there, and everywhere. And I thought that thing in the back of his neck was leather. Nope, it's metal. So I'll have to go back there and fix that. And because of him, I had to do a lot of retouches, which was annoying. I tried to do one coat done, so that's why I kind of go slow, but he was just, every time I turned around there was another thing. Every single time I thought I was done with a color, there was more there. See what I mean? I'm just twirling him around, trying to find all the color. And then his gloves. Oops. his glove that's around the blaster and his sword without hitting those, so I don't have to touch those up later. In reality, it's okay to do that, you know, go over the other colors, because what's nice about Army Painter colors, they're a little bit easier of blending in and fixing the mistakes compared to some other companies, I think. So, did that. See what I mean about his shoulder pads? It's metal, it has silver, or it's metal, it has leather. Ugh, it was ridiculous. I don't know if that needed silver, but pff, why not? Then I did his pants. He had like a dark tan pants, but I chose skeleton bone color to make that tan color, because when I dark tone it, it's gonna show it much darker, obviously. So having a lighter color to start with will give it the right tan color later on. And even here it's trying to figure out where to go. So now I did green. I did do green skin green, but because I ran out of the other color for army green. And yes, Army Painter does have a color called army green. Fortunately, I ran out. So I had to use green skin to do this part. And it was like his knee pads, and then again his shoulder pads. What's with all the colors in the shoulder pads? Oy. It's like little pads on the bottom there. It probably will look nicer with that army green, because army green is not pure green. It has some gray to it to dull out that brightness of the green. I didn't have any, so it's gonna stick as that bright color green. Next is blue. I use crystal blue as the color. I didn't think to do dark blue and then highlight it with this. I just left it as a brightly colored shirt. So you could definitely see him out of a crowd. Literally. Little blues here, there, and everywhere. And now he does have the X-Men logo on his belt and on the neck thingy. I don't know. Then I use black for, I guess, the strap for the thing he has. I don't know what that is, so I gave it another color on top of everything else. Because that shoulder pad has green, silver, leather brown. Like, it has so many colors versus him. So now I'm trying to do it with the other strap, the other side, and his knee pads. His knee pads apparently had that black color to it. Honestly, it could be a dark, very dark gray, but I thought keeping it as black will kind of change up the color scheme for him a little bit. I'm hoping. Oops. A little off camera there. Ah, there we go. And apparently it has like little blue streaks on in the side of it. Of the little circle thingies. The cylinders. So I kind of very fastly tried to do it. And then touch up with the silver. Double check to make sure. And then his skin. I chose Barbarian Flesh as his skin tone just because he seemed a little bit darker skinned versus everybody else. So I kind of gave him that brooding dark color. You know, he's going through dimensions. Ha. So, gotta get his face done. And a lot of times I do save the eyes for last when I'm painting. Just because those are the parts that will pop a little bit more. But I've been doing where I just got a simple base color for it towards the end, so I know where I'm painting. Now his base, I did combine black and white to make that gray color, because I used to have ash gray. Honestly, I forgot I could have used wolf gray to do this, to make that cement look to it, but oops, it happens. And then his stupid teddy bear, why is it on the ground? But I couldn't realize it was the teddy bear at first until I was painting the gray, and then I'm like, oh, there's a teddy bear there. So then I had to go back and give him the lighter color versus everything else on the ground, so you know it's the teddy bear. Because honestly, I would have missed him if I didn't realize it at first. And now the fun part is the tone. So again, I always use soft tone for my figures. That gives it a light brown tint to it. You can always have fun and mix and match with it by adding reds or blue tones to change up kind of the mood of the character, if you think about it. So for him, for example, I kept it in that soft tone. Yeah, as like a comic book feel to it, or cartoon comic book feel, where they have like the outline, the black outline of it and stuff like that. So now I'm doing the highlights, and basically it's just going over anything that's a raised area to give it that highlight look. For example, his hair is white, so I had to go back back to it and give it that highlight look. And kind of very carefully make sure I don't go inside those little indents, or else you lose that design of it. So then going over his skin tone to get a highlighter skin to it, because I did use a flesh wash for him, but because that dried into making it a darker color, I had to go back and change his skin to his highlight. Even you can see it right here, definitely, with the difference between the two tones turned into. Then going to his blaster, I redid the whole thing in silver, all the parts that are raised, to make it very shiny. I could have kept it in that brown tint to it, but I don't think it could do anything with that other than just making it look dirty. So after that, because in the picture it's just a plain blaster look, I kind of added some color to it to change it up a bit. So I added like yellow screens, and then like different like blue, red, and green buttons. At least they look like buttons or lights, to change it up, to give it a little bit more futuristic look to it. Because Cable did come from the future, so I wanted to give it a little extra special for that. Maybe little touch-ups here and there, and he's pretty much done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like, comment below, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one. And the next one, it's going to be Marvel United Fantastic Four series. I hope I see you guys soon. Later.